Okay, so this has got an interesting form. This these sentences are more conversational. That is, you may well ask why. That is, the reader um, is
Engaging the
is
person.
imagined as someone asking questions.
Mm.
So the writer is talking to the reader and saying, I I would expect you'd have questions about this. You may well ask why. So you may as well ask would be
Or you may ask as
making
well.
compare it'd be a different phrase. I think that would be more idiomatic to may as well. You may as well as you um what do we say? It's a way of making a suggestion. You might as well get a taxi. We may as well eat in town. Are the examples that come up from Cambridge. It means something different. It's a suggestion, whereas to say you may well do something, that is, you're imagining that that person, this is something that an ordinary person might ask.
Mm.
Um, you may well ask. It's a way of saying this is a good question. A good question would be,
Mm.
why did science not warn us? Or an anticipated question you may well ask. That is, even if it's not good, it might be a reasonable question to expect your reader to ask. So what they mean, they're talking here about that layer of ozone in the atmosphere that has a protective role um, in terms of solar radiation, I think.
Correct.
Yeah, so this is about the history of um, the public issue of global warming, and they're saying we were from the 1970s until the end of the century. That is, we scientists, but also um, public science, we um, were distracted by this other problem. So ozone depletion was a bigger immediate problem. We threw all our efforts into it. So most scientists who were working on these problems spent time on ozone rather than on climate change. So this is something he's putting forward as a scientific truth now. He's saying that we scientists now see the Earth as a responsive, self-regulating entity. That is a large-scale system that works, that responds to things. If you put some things in to that system, other effects come out. So climate science was also neglected because 20th century science failed to recognize the true nature. He's saying that that is true, and it wasn't seen clearly before. So you might disagree. You might say that's not actually the true nature of the Earth, but from the perspective of the speaker here, that is the truth. Yeah, it's an assertion. Self-regulation as well. This idea that it gives feedback, but it also it changes itself as part of that system, that collection of processes in response to some inputs. So for example, I think that they mean that when certain things increase, other things change in predictable ways, that it's self-regulating not from our perspective, but the system keeps regulating itself. For example, if the atmosphere warms then the system remains at a more steady temperature because ice melts and the amount of water on the Earth's surface increases. So these processes, which from our perspective are disastrous, from the perspective of the system as a whole, keep the system regulated. I
Great.
think that's what it
No,
means.
I got it.
Yeah.
It's correct.
They
Fail to.
they failed. What he's saying is that scientists now believe that the Earth is a self-regulating entity that is responsive to things, but they didn't believe that in the past, or they didn't believe it strongly enough.
Yeah.
I think
Can you explain the name again?
GAIA, Gaia. It's like that.
G-A-I-A.
Yeah.
Who is this person?
So that's a
God.
representation.
In here, it said that. Sorry. Why we cannot use integral here? Yes, I got it. Why it is responsive, because the Earth respond to some of the reaction or action or whatever. So why we cannot use integral? Adam, what would this one? When we say that carried away by Darwin's great vision, but we're so carried away. What is the meaning of carried away? And that again, they fail to see the living things were tightly, where was it? Coupled to their material environment. I mean, what is this sentence talking about? And yeah, great.
Yeah.
And also, let me ask you the last one. God, it's not working. Okay. Yeah, what is the meaning of this word, and why this word fits here? Adam, when we say that gold, what is that? Goldilocks planet. What does that mean actually here? And Adam, when we say here, it was in this favorable state. I mean, it was. So, what time he is referring to? And so it said that 2 billion years ago. But to be honest, we don't know why he didn't mention in the text about this beautiful state. And but now our planet has to work hard. Planet can't work hard. I mean, because as you said, it has a irresponsive. What was the word? Responsive, self-regulating entity. Yeah. So, and yeah, that's it.
So when
Let me ask you this part also. Where is that? Is it surface water, ozone, wallpaper? See, I can't find it. Week 14 or week 16? Oh yeah, week 16. Sorry. You maybe ask. Yep. Okay, this one. This is a very challenging one again.